Good day there, once again viewers, this is your mate Kamikaze78 here, and today guys, we're going to be taking a small break from our normal PlanetSide 2 content to have a look at a new Battle Royale game that's recently entered open beta called HyperScape. This is a game that caught my eye recently, and we've been playing it a little bit on our Twitch streams lately. By the way, twitch.tv/Kamikaze78. For those who are not following us there already, it's always good to have your guys' company on those streams. But anyway guys, with this video, I kind of want to consolidate the experience that has come out of those Twitch streams into this video here and sort of discuss my first impressions about HyperScape and whether or not I feel as though it brings enough to the table as a Battle Royale to make a worthwhile entrance to the genre. You know, we're dealing with Goliaths like Call of Duty Warzone, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Apex Legends, and Fortnite. These big titles that have already got well-established audiences and well-established gameplay styles. If you don't have a unique gameplay style to attract an audience to a Battle Royale with, then you lose all your content, because the content comes from having that competition and having that player base there to engage with. So it's time to work out, does HyperScape bring enough to the table to be worth your time? And the one thing I want to make very clear out of the gate here guys is that the game is intense. There is no getting around that, and I'm pretty sure you've been able to gather as much just by watching the gameplay so far. And I feel as though a big part of that is the fact that there is very little downtime in the moment-to-moment combat. You know, most Battle Royales will often have some downtime between engagements, you know, moments where you have a chance to reflect, reorganize with your squad, and get back into the fight. Here, that isn't really the case at all, and there's a few things that, you know, contribute to that, I believe. Firstly, the looting. It's simple, it's easy, and it doesn't really require you to stop and think most times. You aren't going to be searching for armor, you aren't going to be searching for healing items, you're not searching for attachments, nothing of the sort here. You're searching for weapons and abilities, which in this game are called hacks. That is it. It should also be stated that all weapons in the game right now are available from the get-go. They are in the loot table, which means that there is a chance you could find your favorite loadout very early in the game. Now, that doesn't mean that you're gifted with the most overpowered selection of kit to dominate the game with from the start. There is a requirement to upgrade your gear as the game goes on. But of all the Battle Royales out there, this is probably the easiest of the bunch to upgrade your gear with. It's as simple as finding a copy of the hack or weapon that you're using on the map, and then you fuse them together to upgrade them. So whenever you upgrade a hack, for example, you'll be given better cooldowns on said hack, and when you upgrade a weapon, it'll most likely give you a magazine size increase, but some weapons also get damage boosts, and sometimes both occur, especially if you get them to the max rank. So as an example, the sniper rifle that's in the game can be found at the very start, and it's actually quite easy to find for that matter, but in order to give it the capability to score one-shot kills to a headshot, you need to upgrade it a few times before it can do that, which is quite nifty in my opinion. And while some may argue that this is an overly simplistic approach to the Battle Royale formula that doesn't really bring about much in the way of replay value, I kind of beg to differ, because it keeps the gameplay focused on the most important part of a Battle Royale in my opinion: the combat. In games like PUBG or even Apex Legends, you need to loot weapons, attachments for those weapons, backpacks, armor, helmet, healing items, and throwables like grenades. The list goes on and on before you have a fully fleshed out loadout to make you as competitive as the next guy. And then you have to spend that time managing the inventory to make sure that you have a balance of everything to get the job done. And there's no denying that the inventory management side of a Battle Royale really scratches the itch of satisfaction for a certain bunch of people. And I should make this clear guys, that I went through a phase of really enjoying PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and then went on to enjoy Apex Legends even more for its even more simplistic loot management system. But from what I can see, HyperScape understands that it's the moment-to-moment combat that keeps people coming back, not the RNG that comes from navigating the loot table and trying to play Inventory Simulator. So with that said, surely the moment-to-moment combat has got to be good, right? Well, it's nothing short of unique. There's a handful of weapons that are all incredibly unique and have their own role to fill, ranging from a handgun to a hand cannon, a sniper rifle, an SMG, a shotgun, an assault rifle, and a bunch of heavy ordnance-related weapons too. Hell, there's even a minigun available if you wanted to go down that route. And having a good mix of these in a squad can be the difference between life or death in battle, or hell, you can put all your eggs into one basket and go for a squad of a different kind. Either sit back and snipe all game or go for a high mobility, sort of heavy hitting close range squad. It's up to you as a team to work that out. Now, most weapons in the game are hit scan, and the time to kill overall is pretty lengthy, unless you opt for one of those weapons that aims to dish out like a hefty amount of alpha damage like the shotgun, or the sniper rifle, or even the hand cannon, which means that it's actually pretty hard to feel as though you've been killed unfairly. You almost always have a chance to react unless you come across someone using a weapon that has that heavy alpha damage output and they can chain headshots with it like no tomorrow, and then it feels like you get smacked around pretty badly. But despite that, when you take the weapon pool that is almost exclusively hit scan and you take the very accessible movement system with the very accessible map as a result that is urban in nature and has a lot of buildings you can get into and a lot of rooftops you can get on top of, you've got a gameplay experience overall that doesn't feel cheap. It feels as though you can't just always out-aim someone, you've also got to outwit them by moving into the correct positions and then baiting them into an area where your hacks are going to be most useful. So for example, if you're using the slam ability, bait them outside into an open area and then launch yourself into the air and then get them under you to hit them with your slam. Or on the contrary, say you've got the mine hack, so you lead an enemy that has got you almost dead into a building, you deploy a few mines, and bada bing bada boom, the engagement suddenly turns in your favor. There's a lot of outwitting at play here, and that I think keeps the gameplay interesting just beyond it being a standard arena shooter with a Battle Royale tag slipped onto it. And to sort of summarize all of that into one word, I think the best way to describe the game right now would be accessibility. The game feels accessible, the movement system is easy to use, the weapons are all hit scan, which means that anyone who's had any sort of shooter experience can pick up the default sniper rifle and the default assault rifle and understand, yes, this is a hit scan weapon, I know how to use this thing. The movement is very easy to get the hang of. You can slide, you can jump, you can double jump, and overall, after a bit of practice, you're going to have no issues knowing how to use it in game. And the hacks are very accessible as well. I mean, they've got basic functions out of the get-go, but when you combine them with your teammates and use them in a certain synergy, you can really create some damaging combos that allow you to take your gameplay to the next level. And I think that right there is going to be what draws people to HyperScape in the long run if they've been looking for gameplay styles like this. Now, there's no denying that the game right now does have issues being in an open beta. For example, and this is a pet peeve that I have with any game that is multiplayer in nature, comms in this game are very unintuitive. For one, voice settings default to being voice activation, which means that if anyone is playing with speakers or they have a setup where their mum can quickly scold them for not getting the chores done, you're gonna hear it. And to all video game developers out there, I cannot stress this enough, push-to-talk comms must be the default setting. If they're not, you've failed when it comes to in-game voice comms. But to further that point there as well, it took me bloody forever to find the mute button on my teammates, and it also required the help of Twitch chat for me to get there as well. So that needs to be improved as well, and it needs to be a little bit more intuitive in the grand scheme of things. In addition, the D-tap pistol has absolutely no place in the game right now, being the sort of mini aimbot pistol that it is right now. The fact that you can just aim in someone's general direction at the range at which you can and take someone out with one magazine while they have to aim to actually hit you is absurd in a game like this. I mean, if you're trying to create a game here that's trying to pride itself on interesting combat, you cannot have a pistol in a game like this, especially, you know, one that has that aimbot-like mechanic from the very get-go. Now, to the developers working on HyperScape, if you guys want to stick to your guns and, you know, retain the unique aim mechanic that the D-tap has, maybe, and I mean this is an absolute maybe, make it a special attribute on the final upgrade to the weapon, but it really shouldn't be in the game right now the way it is. You know, I was going on about earlier about how it's very hard to feel as though you've been killed unfairly in this game. This is the one exception. I hate dying to this pistol, and I just think it's a really cheap way to die in a game that's entirely based off of movement and outwitting an opponent. This completely negates that side of the game for me. Also, on the topic of, you know, being cheated, hit detection can sometimes feel a bit wonky. Now, there are times where it looks as though I've hit someone and the round doesn't appear to register. This could be down to many things, but yeah, just a feeling I got while playing the game, so maybe something that needs to be looked at as well, but this could very well be the fact that I am in Australia and maybe I wasn't playing on Australian servers at the time, who knows. But anyway, that leaves us to the final question of this video. Can the game survive in the current Battle Royale market? Is there going to be enough people playing it? Look, I think it's got a chance. Right now, player counts are not that high, but that's because I don't think it's really had a lot of media presence right now, and it's still in an open beta. It's not been properly released yet. It's also a brand new IP with no branding behind it at all, so this is a brand new step for people. Like Call of Duty Warzone, it had the Call of Duty name behind it, so clearly a lot of people are going to check that out from the get-go. This is something entirely new. I feel as though it has a chance if it focuses on its moment-to-moment combat and doesn't try to copy too many other Battle Royales. If they really do focus on this moment-to-moment combat, I think we'll have ourselves a game here that will be a true contender. Will it appeal to as wide an audience as, say, the Call of Duty one will? I don't think so, but it is definitely an interesting take on Battle Royale, and it's got an interesting gameplay style that I personally can enjoy, and I'll probably end up playing it a few more times on stream as well in the future. Hell, we may even do a couple of guide videos for it too if I get good enough at it, but the amount of times I've been carried in this game so far, no promises there, guys. Anyway, guys, that concludes today's video on HyperScape. Let me know if you want to see more HyperScape content alongside our normal PlanetSide 2 content, guys. I'm always interested in checking out other games, assuming you guys are interested in them as well. So be sure to leave some feedback in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to backhand the like button as well, guys. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Peace out, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a good one.